Hello and welcome to the channel Gorgosaurus Rex, where we review and discuss all things dinosaur and other prehistoric animals. How are you guys doing? It's been a minute, but we're back, and we are back with yet another Tyrannosaur. In fact, this is, at least for the moment, the final Tyrannosaurian entry in PNSO's T train, so to speak. What we have here is Tristan, the Gorgosaurus. Now, I think it's Tristan. Now, I know it's Tristan. The reason I said I think it's Tristan is because if you look at my packaging, what do you see? You see the number 71. This is the 71st offering in the prehistoric animal line for PNSO. But that's all you see. Oh, that isn't all you see, but that's all you can read, unless you can read this dialect right here. And this is my first time ever getting a PNSO product that is totally in the native tongue, so to speak. So you'll have to take my word on it that this is Tristan, the Gorgosaurus. As you can see right there, you've got the render of the animal on our right there on the front there. When I turn to the top, we've got another render of the animal a little bit close up, and then on the other side is more or less the same thing. And as you can see, it is the same thing. We get nothing, so there is no English as far as the packaging is concerned. And I found out we got no English in the booklet that's included. We get everything else, there's information that I can't read, but we do get the illustrations. There is the more of the model itself. They do have illustrations of the animal that very nice artwork right there. This particular Gorgosaurus you see is basically feathered, and then of course you get other things as well. And unless you could read the native tongue, good luck to you. We get the poster, always included, and once again we're back to just an illustration of the model itself. I liked it better when we had actual art. And of course, because Tristan is a biped, we get the associated stand that comes with all of the two-legged / bipedal dinosaurs with PNSO, because they will warp over time, especially during the summertime, which we are smack dab in the middle of. And here's a look at our guy, Tristan the Gorgosaurus, PNSO. And I will tell you this, we have another offering by PNSO where the paint apps match what we got on the packaging. That's the first good thing. The second good thing is that it's absolutely beautiful, especially the head sculpt. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we take a closer look at that head. But yes, this is a very nice model right here. Very graceful. The pose is very nice. When I did my Giganotosaurus Lucas 2.0 review, I had stated that PNSO was becoming monotonous with the basic same pose, and I submitted that when you're talking about two-legged theropods, of course they're going to, what more can you do if you don't have them look like they're walking? They're going to more or less look like they're just standing there. But I had also suggested that there are other poses they could come up with, and I have to give them their props. The last three offerings, all Tyrannosaurs, they have changed up the poses very dynamically, and we will see them when we get towards the end of the review. This particular pose is, I think it's fantastic. When you look at it, you can see that Gorgosaurus had long legs. So that suggests that it was a pretty speedy animal. And like most speedy animals, like take the cheetah for instance, as fast as they are, and they can get up to about 70 miles per hour, they still stalk their prey and they try to get as close as possible before they jump out and burst into their run. And they do that because they're trying to minimize the chances that they'll miss out on the meal. If they can get close enough, they could probably close the gap faster, because as quick as they are, they run out of energy fast. I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing went with Gorgosaurus as well. And I think this pose perfectly demonstrates that action. To me, it looks like Tristan is stalking prey. And when I actually display this, I'm going to display it just like that, with the mouth closed. The mouth is articulated, but this looks like a stalking pose. So he wouldn't be growling or roaring. He would keep his mouth shut as he gets close enough before he springs to the attack. Anyway, I think it looks beautiful. The paint apps are gorgeous. The head sculpt even more so, and we're about to see that for ourselves. All right, now that we have Tristan up close, maybe you can see what I'm talking about in terms of that skull. The figure itself is the base color is like a cream color, and we've got some dark brown apps, striping, and spotting, and things of that nature. But the skull itself, as I turn, you could see what I'm talking about there. You've got like a light green going across the snout there. Of course, the actual snout has got dark, like a charcoal grayish type of color there, showing the scales and everything. But the face, if you will, has got a nice green texture. The crests are like an orange type of brown. So you've got that there. The eyes are basically they look like they're white with black pupils. Pretty nice. And then when you get to the lower jaw, it's got that cream color, and then right there along the ridge where the upper jaw meets the lower jaw, it darkens. You see the teeth. You know that PNSO is all about the lipless look, and that's a very polarizing subject. Trust and believe. I just went back and forth with someone online on Instagram about that. So funny. Looking at the neck, you see you've got the throat, the wrinkles there, looking real nice, and kind of an orange wash is over it. Then going down the thick of the neck, you see he's got a nice thick neck. You see those stripings that I was talking about. When you look at the top, you see he's got a nice thick stripe that goes from the base of the skull down to where the neck meets the torso, and then you see all of the striping bleeding over on both sides of the body there. Very nice. And then when you get to the hips, you see you've got a nice long whatever you want to call it, striping of dark brown, and then it bleeds over on both sides, both at the top and bottom of that. And then when we turn it back to there, looking at the forelimbs, have got a dark wash. The claws, of course, they're two-fingered claws, very tyrannosaurish, if you will. And you look at the belly. The belly's got more of that orange-brown going. You get to the bottom, you see it's got the cream, but it's got that dark, it's got like a wash over it. And then the hind legs, you see the striping, you see how long the legs are. You get to the front there, looking at the front of the legs, you see the scoots there. That left leg is planted, and the toes are black. You see with that right leg, which we'll get on the other side, you see it's stepping lightly, like I said, like it's stalking, it's trying not to be heard. Then you go down the nice long tail as it tapers, you got the striping. Very nice. Other side there. Same thing as we just go and get to that leg, that right leg that is gingerly stepping. Like I said, it's trying to be as quiet as possible. Very, very nice, very elegant, very graceful, and it's something to say graceful and a tyrannosaur in the same sentence. Back to the body there, you see you've got wrinkles there where the leg is stepping forward. Turning to the underside again, looking for the cloaca, and it is right there. There's the slit right there. And then going back to the front, and there he is. There's our guy Tristan. Getting a measurement of our guy Tristan from tail to snout. We're talking just slightly over 10 inches long. If you do your estimations based on the 135 scale, which is the general scale for PNSO, what they go with, this Tristan comes out to about 29 and a half feet long, representative of an animal that size, which is right smack dab there in the middle of the scale. Gorgosaurs they were estimated to be between 26 and 30 feet long, so that puts them right smack dab there. They lived about 76 to 75.5 million years ago, so definitely before Tyrannosaurus Rex ever came along. They found fossils in Montana and in Alberta, Canada, and it lived concurrently with Albertosaurs, which is crazy, and to some degree Daspletosaurus too. There was a lot of talk, and there probably still is some, that those three species are, basically offshoots of one another. They're all really the same species, just in some different areas, and that's not even really the case when you talk about Gorgosaurus and Albertosaurus. They overlap big time. And just because I said this is how I'm going to pose him with his mouth closed doesn't mean I'm supposed to deny you guys seeing that he does indeed have an articulated jaw. And I did neglect to show that and to show what's going on at that roof, like I always do with our theropods, and show how nice and wet it looks, and also that PNSO sculpted in nasal passageways. Now for some comparisons, I figured I'd have to show you at least one prey animal, one animal that was contemporary with Gorgosaurus, and here we have it. We have got Brian the Pachyrhinosaurus, also of PNSO, and yeah, they look great together. This would have been a handful for Gorgosaurus to handle. You know what I'm saying? This is not Tyrannosaurus Rex versus Triceratops at all. And now to kick off our Tyrannosaur train, we have got here we have the Ballad of the Two-Steppers right here, the light-footed. We have, of course, Tristan the Gorgosaurus here, and we have the Zoochentyrannus, which is much larger than a Gorgosaurus, but looking like it's stepping every bit as lively and lightly. And now for something even bigger, we have Cameron, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, PNSO's reimagining of Tyrannosaurus Rex. So they come out with this guy whose scalation is a lot more smoother, and yeah, this is the replacement for Wilson 2.0, and just looking at him, I could tell you he never stepped a light day in his life. Cameron was the first to kick off the new Tyrannosaur train set of 5. Here's the second offering that we got after Cameron, and it's the Lythronax, and the Lythronax is, you see it's a little bit bulkier than Gorgosaurus. You could tell it wasn't a speedster. Look how thick its legs were, and how robust its head was. We don't have very many fossils for Lythronax, but they've estimated it to be about 26 feet long to probably 30. What they had was, what little they had, they were able to guesstimate that it was about 26 feet long, but I don't believe it was fully grown. Next, we have Cole the Daspletosaurus, and as you can see, this is what I'm talking about. Their last three offerings, they started changing up the poses. Technically, you can say they did that even with the Lythornax, but I'm talking about mostly with the feet. The Lythornax, the pose was changed up with how the back was arched and the head was lifted. But here you see with the Daspletosaurus, it's lightly picking up its right foot, and with the Gorgosaurus, you see that it's lightly setting down the right foot. And finally, we have Wally the Albertosaurus. And once again, these three right here, they lived concurrently and more or less, and they shared regions on occasion. And looking at Wally, the Daspletosaurus there at the far right, you can see the pose that he's in, full out runner. He also had long legs too, so he was a bit of a sprinter as well, as is being portrayed right here. And before wrapping this review up, I figured I'd give you a final shot of our guy Tristan posed with his mouth open, because like I said, I already told you how I'm going to have him posed. He looks to me like he's stalking, so he will be posed with his mouth closed. And so yeah, take a good look, because that is not how he's going to be displayed. Instead, this is how he's going on the shelf. Mouth closed, being very silent, stepping very lightly till he gets close enough before he springs into action there. And I'm going to spring into summarizing this review of Tristan, the Gorgosaurus, last in a line of 5 Tyrannosaurs by PNSO. I can tell you they haven't stopped the theropod train. They've already announced a Megalosaurus, and I've already got that in the pipeline, so it won't take as long to acquire that as it did to get our boy Tristan here. And I'm very excited about getting Megalosaurus 2. It holds great significance in the dinosaur world, and we'll discuss that when I have the Megalosaurus in hand. Anyway, talking about our Gorgosaurus here, this has been a very excellent offering from PNSO. The paint apps are on and cracking that head sculpt. The paint apps for the head is straight banging. I'm loving it. The greens, the orange like browns, the crest, I mean, it's just very nice. The cream colored base for the body with the brown stripes. They, PNSO kept it PNSO, if you will, with the, favoring the brownish colors, but they actually did a little something different this go round, and it looks great in my estimation. And once again, you can't take away anything from this model when you're looking at that skull, looking very, very nice. It's accurate in scale, just slightly over 10 inches, representing a 29-foot long animal, which is right there. So 1/35 scale has been satisfied. I'm happy about that. And I'm happy about adding this Tyrannosaur to the collection. We have got a lot of Tyrannosaurs. I showed 6 of them here, and we have a couple more. There's a few more that PNSO has put out there. So yeah, it's crazy. We've got a lot of Tyrannosaur love going on. And speaking of love, I would love for you guys to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you got comments, leave them below. What do you think about Tristan here? What do you think about the 5 Tyrannosaurs we've gotten? What do you think about doing all of these, this whole family thing that PNSO has been on? We've got the 5 Tyrannosaurs. Just prior to that, we had 3 Carcharodontosaurs. And prior to that, we had a couple of other theropods that were distantly related as well. And now we've got Megalosaurus coming. Does that mean we're going to get Torvosaurus 2.0 down the pike? Who knows? Guess we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. On behalf of Tristan the Gorgosaurus and myself, take care.